Everyone knew Canadians were the best hockey players in the world.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Montreal Forum and this first game of an 18 series between the national team of the Soviet Union and the Canada team. Mesdames et messieurs, voici maintenant les arbitres.
Finally, Canada's best professionals allowed to do what our amateurs could no longer: beat the Soviet nationals.
I can't recall any game that I've ever been at where you can just feel the tension that keeps building up and the fans are really on their toes. They hardly can wait to see the beginning of this game.
Now, the representative of the Soviet delegation, Mr. Georgy Regulsky, will join Mr. Pierre-Elliott Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, and Mr. Charles Hay, President of Hockey Canada.
8 games in September. A month-long celebration, all mere moments away.
What I remember really about the Forum was just that sense of sheer electricity.
This was the night we were going to show the world, you know, don't fool with us at our game.
I've got a chance to represent my country. I look around and I'm playing with the greatest hockey players in the world.
It was an awe, you know, when you realized that the whole world was watching you.
All these great stars on our club, I couldn't believe anybody could be as good as what we were going to be.
But it also put a lot of pressure on us. We realized, man, if we lose this,
I said, I'm really scared of that game. And I said, if we lose, you imagine, Frank, if we lose, I said, it's going to be terrible.
It affected us psychologically. We knew a lot about Canadian players from the media. We knew they were a very strong team, well-liked and popular with the fans. The fact that in a few moments I was going to play them, for a 20-year-old boy, it was somewhat overwhelming.
Petyak is in goal. Ken Dryden is in goal for Canada. Underway with Petrov having cleared it into the Canadian zone. Canada clear on the boards, but not out. It's Bergman coming up now with a pass to center ice. Esposito going up over the line into the corner. Shot right across the goal mouth. Bergman keeps it in. The Hovland misses it back to the net. There's Verdoya. There's the pass. Lino being stopped. Here's the shot. Right front. Let it go.
30 seconds. That's all we needed.
Parker playing up. Back to Henderson. Scores! Good shot on the faceoff.
In the 6th minute, we led the game 2-0. But something wasn't right. Amidst the flurry of red and white, one thing becomes clear. The Soviets can play. By the middle of the period, the visitors take charge. Rewards soon follow.
Another try, shot goes wide, and bounces over to the side. Vladiev trying to clear to the corner. It's center right front and score! From that left side, it finally found the corner of the net. Mikhailov nearly got loose, gets it over to Petrov, back to Mikhailov, right in the clear. Oh, right in, and score! Petrov getting the rebound. And it's all tied up.
As the opening period ended, only the score was tied. They'd made their mark. The Soviets arrived just days before the first game. They knew preparation was on their side. The national team trained long and hard. Scouting was thorough. They were quietly confident. By our standards, Team Canada worked hard too. It was simply not hard enough. We looked out of shape compared to the swift Soviets.
You aren't performing up to the capability that you can do, know how to do, and yet you're up there representing your country and not delivering the goods.
This wasn't the Russian amateur team. That's what we kept hearing, the Russian amateur team. But they were more professional than we were, and they were ready.
Those guys were not staying with their family. They were training almost 12 months a year. We trained 3 weeks.
These guys are in shape. They're coming at us. We're in trouble.
We were dying after the first period. I remember walking around, everybody's going, oh, it's hot. Boy, it's hot, Tony, it's hot. It's hot.
Did we ever get fooled?
You don't underestimate your opponent. You never underestimate your opponent.
But of course, we had. None of the players expected this. How could they? Certainly, Orr was hurt, and Bobby Hull and others jumped to a rival league. But here were the greatest stars from the NHL, losing to a group of unknowns. The Soviets' first practice was closely watched, with equipment old and worn and techniques foreign to us. It wasn't long before most dismissed the newcomers. By contrast, Team Canada looked sharp in practice. The Soviet national team sat fixated, almost in awe of their opponent's greatness. In the second period, the Canadians get aggressive, but the Soviets won't be intimidated. The unimagined begins to take shape.
Cutting in around, Corey is trying to score! Karloff, a very tricky player, gets scores!
Valery Varlamov gives the Soviets a 2-goal lead. Suddenly, Team Canada appears frustrated. The fans grow uneasy.
Henderson for Canada, centers out.
Bobby Clark's goal, midway through the final period, provides a spark. It doesn't last long.
Canada, who gets it back in the corner.
This night, the Soviets are just too strong. Skating, passing, stick handling. Better than us on every level.
Team Canada does not have the momentum. They've given it their best, and they aren't good enough tonight to beat the Soviets. As simple as that. Right and he scores! Damon! A roller right in front, they score! Yakushev!
Seven, 3. Canada is in shock. Unfamiliar with international tradition, the Canadians leave without shaking hands. They're branded poor losers.
We did not skate with them. They outplayed us in almost every aspect of the game. Goaltending, from the goaltending to the shooting to the skating, passing. We got beat by one fine hockey team.
Series organizer Alan Eagleson was distraught by fan reaction.
He said, boy, oh boy, Alan, these Russians good. I nearly punched him in the nose. I said, good, they're better than that. You're beginning to sound like a commie.
Man, it was life and death. We went down in the dressing room, and it was a pretty tough place to be.
After the game, it was the tough part. I mean, you almost wanted to cry.
You felt helpless.
The shock waves you could be felt all over the world, and certainly through Canada.
Game 2 became critical.
With Game 2 pending, coaches Sinden and Ferguson break down the game tapes. Changes would have to be made. The lavish celebrations in Toronto poorly mask our growing concern. After Montreal, hockey could never be the same. Neither could we. Our game wasn't just ours anymore. With Game 2 looming, celebration became desperation.
September 72 is brought to you by Molson, what beer's all about.
I can hear Canada singing. Can't you feel it when you hear those voices ringing? Don't it make you want to slide inside with a feeling that you just can't hide?
Yes, Canada. That's the life to sing about. Canada. That's the life.
Molson Canadian, that's the beer.
There is a Canadian spirit.
Canada. I am the spirit of Canada. I strive. I work. I yearn. I laugh and cry. I seek. I stumble. I win. I almost win. I strive. I am the spirit of Canada.
What a spirit. What a country.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Venture. It's the only minivan to offer a separate front and rear sound system. Because kids don't ever listen to the same music their parents do. Chevy Venture is here.
I fry bacon in the nude.
I rip labels off of pillows.
I sometimes mix colors in with my whites. What about it?
Everyone has a different view of risk.
I sometimes return a video without rewinding it.
At Canada Trust, our breakthrough personal investment program gives us an in-depth understanding of your views on risk, letting us personalize a plan that's right for you. Call now for an appointment.
I golf during thunderstorms, but never on Sundays.
I do a fix.
FX, the series, Monday on CTV.
1 in 3 Canadian jobs depends on exports. Through Team Canada, Canadians are working together to take on the world. Canada is a world leader in innovative health products and services. We have a strong research network and highly qualified personnel, and we've gotten results. In recent years, pharmaceutical exports have grown by hundreds of millions of dollars. We sold more than $500 million worth of medical devices in 1 year alone. It means jobs for Canadians right across the country. Be part of our team. For more information on Canada's export opportunities, contact the Canada Business Service Centre in your province.
September 72 is brought to you by General Motors, makers of Chevrolet.
With Canada's pride hurt, Maple Leaf Gardens comes alive. Just days ago, a ticket to a curiosity now carried great responsibility.
It scared the hell out of me that I would have killed them to win. That scared me.
That fear factor set in. Can I really compete against these fellows?
In hockey, you have to be scared of losing.
We can't lose 2 games in a row.
If we didn't win, this would be a mark for the rest of our lives.
Publicly, the Soviets declared they'd come to learn, but privately, it was a different matter. Now they were certain victory was very real. A scoreless first period confirms Montreal's result. To Canadian eyes, the Soviets play with a disturbing sameness. Theirs is a different hockey.
They rotated the puck around and sideways and backwards. They broke all the rules on us. I mean, they come up and they didn't like what it looked at. They turned around and went back. What is this?
At times, we were made to look very silly out there. The Russians were that good.
It was just not a style that we had seen, and it had us basically confused. It was very unnerving because it was our game.
Tony Esposito's goaltending keeps Canada in the game. With concern etched on the faces of most, Team Canada finds its stride. Play is fast, the checking close. It appears Harry Simmons' lineup changes are working.
People who've been in hockey a long time find out that 24, 48 hours between games can make a tremendous difference if you use them properly.
We're going to try to counteract.
They told me they want me to play very physical.
We are going to go with players that we thought would fit the situation.
We're going to show some character. We're going to show we can win.
I think we had something to prove.
It was a highly charged game, man.
You can feel the tension mounting all the time, although it's been at fever pitch right from the beginning.
Midway through the second period, fate finds Phil Esposito.
And it looks as if it's going to be a penalty to the Soviets. The goalkeeper's leaving.
His goal will be the only one scored through 2 periods.
Watch the work that Cashman does here.
There is not much to choose between the teams this night. Finally, early in the third, Team Canada breaks through. Marc to Yvan Cournoyer. Minutes later, the Soviets silence the goal. But Game 2 belongs to Canada and Peter Mahovlich. The short-handed goal makes it 3-1. Frank Mahovlich seals the game. 2 goals in little over 2 minutes. 4-1 Canada.
Both the Mahovlich brothers are dangerous tonight.
With still more than half a period to play, Team Canada focuses on defense. The Canadians must be wary. The Soviets can score goals in bunches. With time winding down, Team Canada weathers some anxious moments. The game is ours. The series even. With the country's hockey pride restored, Team Canada celebrates. Unlike Montreal, tonight the players shake hands.
Enjoy the victory, but don't gloat over it. We got 6 games to play. Enjoy it tonight. Savor it, but we got a lot of games to play.
Coaches Bobrov and Gulagin implored the national team not to be intimidated by the series, to show the world Soviet hockey. Canadian fans were impressed.
Of course, Canadians were behind their team, but it's understandable. They liked our style of hockey too. We have films of the series, and you can see how we were received in Canada. Everyone remembered those games because of the wonderful hockey that we played, and it was like that for millions around the world.
The Soviet nationals arrived in Winnipeg for Game 3, armed with the growing support of the media. The visitors' elegant play, the reason. Winnipeg didn't have a team in the NHL, but it had been home to Canada's national amateurs. The city was well acquainted with Soviet hockey. Team Canada makes only one lineup change. The Soviets, 5. By now, the players are familiar with one another. Game 3's play is fast and vibrant. All of the goals scored in the first 2 periods. Twice, the Soviets fight back when 2 goals are down. Frustration takes hold.
This series isn't going the way it's supposed to go. That isn't the celebration that we expected.
I think the Canadian pride was hurt, and that's what really... and I think what hurt the players was they felt, when the fans and the press felt the players weren't trying, and they were trying. We just weren't in good enough shape.
The Soviets forced us to look closely at our game.
And all of a sudden you have somebody who is different enough that in fact you're finally seeing us in a way that you never have before.
Player here, Parisi and Vasiliev mixing it up a bit. They haven't hit anybody, but it was close.
Canadians are getting a little incensed here. Phil Esposito.
Penalty, Team Canada. Wayne Cashman, number 14. 2 minutes for slashing. 10-minute misconduct at 10:44.
Team Canada escapes with a tie. But Canadians don't like what they see. It hurt knowing we were no longer the best.
September 72 is brought to you by Hudson's Bay Company since 1670.
There is a Canadian spirit.
Canada. I am the spirit of Canada. I strive. I work. I yearn. I laugh and cry. I seek. I stumble. I win. I almost win. I strive. I am the spirit of Canada.
What a spirit. What a country.
Like a rock, standing arrow straight, like a rock, charging from the gate.
Luckily, it's now even easier to get into a Chevy truck. Thanks to the new third door. Chevy, long-lasting, dependable trucks.
Who do you shower with? Someone I trust. Introducing Kerry Moisturizing Body Wash. A gentle conditioning cleanser soothes, moisturizes, and protects against dry skin. New Kerry Moisturizing Body Wash. Shower with a friend.
For my one and only skin, I only trust Kerry. Dermatologist recommended Kerry works on 3 levels: to soothe, moisturize, and protect against dryness. Original and fast-absorbing Kerry. To try Kerry, call 1-800-524-KERRY.
It's sensual, magical. It's Carnival. The makeup they use comes from Brazil's rich red soil. The same soil that produces the famous Santos Arabicas. They lend their smooth flavor to the Nabob Coffee Company's newest blend, Carnival Brazil. A coffee as rich as the country itself. At Nabob, we get better beans. You get better coffee.
From the best-selling novel,
There are other women where I was held, and I believe in my heart that they're still alive.
Morgan Freeman,
The board shows 8 missing. This guy's a collector.
Ashley Judd,
Stop treating me like I'm a victim. I'm the only person who's seen him. Take me with you.
When it goes down, I need this guy intact.
Kiss the Girls. Everywhere, Friday, October 3rd.
I can hear Canada singing. Can't you feel it when you hear those voices ringing? Don't it make you want to fight inside with a feeling that you just can't hide?
Yes, Canada.
Canada. That's the life to sing about. Canada, that's the life. Molson Canadian, that's the beer.
September 1972 is brought to you by Team Canada.
Team Canada began to battle fights from within. Not everyone was happy about not playing.
We had promised all of the players, or 35 of them, that everybody would play one game in this 8-game series.
They were stars in their teams. They wanted to play. They wanted to win.
Now, 40 guys can't play, but you have 40 guys who think they can play. You know, and rightly so.
Vic Hadfield came to me and said, Eagle, you know, I got 50 goals. This is a joke. This is in Toronto, never mind in Russia. This is a joke. I said, hey, I'm not the coach. You go talk to Harry. That's not my problem.
We felt that we would try Vancouver with some younger players and some players to fulfill our promise, and that hurt us.
Anyway.
Game 4 at Vancouver's Pacific Coliseum was to be the last in Canada. The series to date cast no illusions. Canadian hockey was in decline.
Fans were frustrated and maybe a little embarrassed because they were conned too.
Nobody ever thought to ask us. It was just reporters' opinions.
They started attacking our style of hockey. They seen a style that was successful in winning. They thought, well, that Russians is the new style of hockey. That's how you play the game.
You're ruining our party. What's wrong with you?
The Russian team leader, Mr. Andrei Starovoitov, will make the presentation to Mr. Joe Krister.
Team Canada wore a brave face in Vancouver. Internal strife aside, two of its better defensemen, Savard and Lapointe, might now be out for the series. Things couldn't possibly get worse. Barely 2 minutes in, the visitors strike. At the 7-minute mark, a second goal. Montreal, all over again. Other than brief flourishes, the Canadians are being badly outplayed. Ken Dryden keeps them close. Quicker, stronger. There's no mistaking the Soviets' dominance. Young Gilbert Perrault gets Canada back in the game. Well, not for long. One minute later, the Soviets answer.
Right from that left wing. That is going to hurt Team Canada. A perfect pass. Leadoff makes no mistake.
When Rod Gilbert's goal is disallowed, it's clear we're in trouble. A fourth goal. The fans are through. This can't be their team. Boos cascade down.
We were booed off the ice, which I'll never forget.
I've never been booed off the ice before.
You could understand their frustration, but it hurt.
Here we are in our own turf, and we got our own countrymen booing us.
I was sort of embarrassed for the fans, you know, that we hadn't done what we were supposed to do.
As a team, as a group, as individuals, we're vilified across the country.
With 20 minutes to play, Team Canada finds itself in shambles. The Canadians narrow the margin in the third, but Tretiak and the Soviets prove resilient. The young goaltender will turn back more than 20 shots in the period. After the teams change ends, Tretiak gets the help he needs. Vladimir Shatlin collects his own rebound, and the Blues return. Though the home team scores late, for them, it is a game to be forgotten. The fans feel otherwise. They've been betrayed. Players shake hands knowing the series is moving to Moscow. But 14 days until Game 5 is too long for Phil Esposito. He doesn't realize he is about to change the very course of the series.
For the people across Canada, we tried. We did our best. And for the people that boo us, geez, all of us guys are really disheartened, and we're disillusioned, and we're disappointed in some of the people. We cannot believe the bad press we've got, the booing we've gotten in our own buildings. And if the Russians boo their players, if the Russians boo their players like some of the Canadian fans, I'm not saying all of them, some of them booed us, then I'll come back and I'll apologize to each one of the Canadians, but I don't think they will. I'm really disappointed. I am completely disappointed. I cannot believe it. Every one of us guys, 35 guys that came out and played for Team Canada, we did it because we love our country and not for any other reason, no other reason. They can throw the money for the pension fund out the window. They can throw anything they want out the window. We came because we love Canada. John?
Keep working hard.
We're going to get better.
Attaboy. Thank you very much, Bill.
As I skated off after the interview, some guy was yelling really adamant. I felt like sticking my stick right down his throat. That's when I really realized, man, we are in a war here. This is no game. This is society. This is war. And we better damn well get ourselves together.
Only a handful of well-wishers send Team Canada off. There will be 2 games in Sweden before Moscow. A chance to play on the larger European ice surface, and just maybe a chance to find themselves.
We had been totally deserted by the Canadian press, in particular, and North American press as well, and our fans. We really didn't have anybody left.
Vancouver felt like it was the bottom. Stockholm was.
We were all alone, and it was just us.
The papers there called us gangsters. Our own ambassador there had unkind words for us.
Those things, I think, kept uniting our team tighter and tighter. It was not only us against the Russians, but it was us against everybody.
Stockholm's a debacle. The hockey's chippy, mean. Facing Moscow, Team Canada comes together.
I said, Harry boy, I said, this is really going to be tough. He said, you know what? He said, I think we're going to do all right.
We did leave Sweden feeling pretty good about ourselves.
We have a responsibility to answer to anybody else this is how we play hockey. And let's go play it. We play it rough and skillful.
Moscow, September 20th, 1972. From the Kremlin and Red Square to both sides of the Volga, all of the talk in Moscow is hockey. Most know of the Soviet triumph in America. Team Canada's refuge is the Intourist Hotel.
Everyone wants to see you. He's very tough. He's for the man. Ivan, you got your room? Okay. Any other players?
The Soviet Union wasn't ready for 3,000 Canadians.
Where's the peanuts? Right under the guard.
How many rubles for Coca-Cola? Don't grab it.
No, that's from the guard.
I've had this for 5,000 miles. Where's Bill? He's got another one.
4 games in 8 days, all here at Moscow's Luzhniki Sports Palace.
Bonds of strength have been increased between our countries through this tournament, and once again I thank you very much for all your kindnesses.
Несмотря на исход, я должен сказать, что
Yes, I can give you the Canadian 19 that will play tomorrow night. Ed Johnston
Ed Johnston
and Tony Esposito.
Tony Esposito.
Goaltenders.
So, and what can you go on the limb, and what's the score going to be here in Moscow?
Well, my impressions of the team were pretty high. Needless to say, I thought that they were excellent skaters in excellent condition. I don't think I've seen a group of athletes in better condition than they were.
Я должен сказать, что они отлично катаются и очень хорошо физически подготовлены.
But as far as the score is concerned and the outcomes of the other games, I haven't got a crystal ball. I couldn't tell you.
As Team Canada steps onto the ice, they prepare to undertake the most unenviable of challenges, beating the Soviets behind the Iron Curtain.
This is Game 5 of the Canada-Soviet series from Moscow.
September 72 is brought to you by General Motors, makers of Chevrolet.
Only by going alone in silence can one get into the heart of the wilderness. All other travel is mere dust and hotels and baggage and chatter. Motrin relieves Motrin pain.
I'm in publishing.
We sell drums, fresh flowers,
vintage cars.
We make ceramics.
We sell china.
We make the part that goes in here.
Fish sticks.
We have computers.
I know a lot about computers. No, you don't.
We use computers. I just don't know much about them. Jack squat.
We need somebody that knows manufacturing,
ceramic,
flour, wholesaling,
the publishing business,
and computers.
Any ideas?
It's the way a house smells when there's bread baking in the oven. The way mothers make sandwiches just right. It's the way we try to know each of our customers by name, or at least by sandwich. And it's the way all your favorite things combine into something even better, right before your eyes. It's the way every day, over 1 million people thank us for making them their favorite sandwich, even though it can be hard to talk with your mouth full. Subway. It's the way a sandwich should be.
There's a Canadian spirit.
Canada. I am the spirit of Canada. I strive. I work. I yearn. I laugh and cry. I seek. I stumble. I win. I almost win. I strive. I am the spirit of Canada.
What a spirit. What a country.
Sybil, CTV tomorrow.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Molson Breweries. What beer's all about.
You knew that there were going to be problems when you get off the plane and they take your passport away from you. You're marshaled here and you're marshaled there, and you can't get your luggage for 6 hours and it's been gone through.
Frustrated right off the bat. We go there and we sit for like 2 hours in the airport.
And at the bottom of the stairway going down, there's a man with a rifle, a machine gun. And I said, gee, this is unusual. You know, what's going on?
This is supposed to be a sport. This is supposed to be a pastime, right? That these games were becoming much more than that.
This is Miss Olga Baranova, a star from the Moscow Ice Ballet. And Miss Baranova is going through the traditional Russian gesture of hospitality to guests of the Soviet Union. A presentation of a loaf of bread with salt on top, followed by a presentation of flowers.
Team Canada begins Game 5 with the specter of 3 players having left for home just a day ago.
And we hear Midnight in Moscow.
Esposito.
Well, let's hope that's not the story of our trip to Moscow.
Phil Esposito's unexpected fall helps ease tensions.
Maltsev is going to center ice, number 10.
It's a different Canadian team in Moscow.
17 is the punch
Looser,
that's into play.
more assured.
There's a quick pass to the left side. Harlamov goes in, he's knocked sideways.
Game 5 is filled with excitement. The play goes end to end.
Kozlik's intercepts and breaks away. Going right on goalie shoots.
face-off, the Canadians control the game's tempo. Harry Sinden has them ready. Not surprisingly, we score first. The line of Clark, Ellis, and Henderson assembled to check continues to score. Canada leads 2-0. Team Canada is outworking the Soviets at both ends of the ice. This is the team we expected. The Canadians check diligently, waiting for breaks. Finally, they appear to be rewarded. Paul Henderson slams headfirst into the end boards. Luzhniki falls silent. Henderson is forced to leave the game. No penalty is called. Against the team doctor's advice, Henderson returns. Unbelievably, he scores. The Canadian fans draw inspiration from Henderson's dramatic goal. But the Soviets quickly dampened their enthusiasm. Eight seconds later, it's a one-goal game. Sensing another, the home team swarms the Canadian net. A questionable offsetting penalty sees each team playing a man short.
They're rather incensed over this double penalty that's going to be handled out.
The Soviets go to work.
By the side, the Soviets keeping the pressure on here. Harlamov getting it out to the blue line.
A game virtually decided suddenly becomes anyone's to win. With little over 5 minutes to play, Vladimir Vikulov scores. The collapse is complete.
went in back of the
The Canadians play their best game of the series. They outskate, out-hit, outwork the Soviets. It doesn't matter. They still lose.
Absolutely critical play here. There's no way that the referee will allow a goal, but Tretiak was back straight up.
We knew we played well. We knew we had them. We made a couple of mistakes, but there was an unspoken confidence, and to a man, and I was one of them, we felt we could win the next 3 games.
After that game, I know we felt that not only are we now playing with them, we're playing better than they are.
We could have played another 8 games and never lost after we lost the first game in Russia.
Quitting, and that if you uttered that word in our dressing room, you probably would have been thrown out.
Defiant in their defeat, Team Canada leaves the ice to a standing ovation. There's still tomorrow.
September 1972 is brought to you by Team Canada.
One in 3 Canadian jobs depends on exports. Through Team Canada, Canadians are working together to take on the world.
The product that is coming from Canada is first class. The Canadian flag carries a tremendous amount of weight in terms of confidence.
Our construction, architectural, and engineering services are world-renowned. The sector is growing fast, generating more than $100 billion annually. That means jobs for 800,000 Canadians.
One of the key things Canadians have internationally is the integrity of Canada and the business people as a whole.
Be part of our team. For more information on Canada's export opportunities, contact the Canada Business Service Center in your province.
Hi, honey. You're home.
17 years.
You lost your job?
Downsizing.
Are we going to be okay?
Thanks to a financial security plan they started years ago, and with the help of their London Life representative, the Jansons chose to fulfill a dream and start their own business. Freedom 55, financial security planning for every stage of your life.
We're gonna be just fine.
London Life, the freedom to choose, the power to get there.
As Canadian Tire dealers, we're celebrating our 75th year in business.
And we'd like to salute the people who made that possible.
You.
With the Thanks to You Anniversary Contest. Get a game card with a $20 purchase. Scratch 3 squares, match 3, and you can win instantly. 12 million chances.
And enter the Pick Your Dream sweepstakes for a shot at one of 4 dream packages. Exotic trips, new cars, gas, options points, and more.
So get in on the celebration.
You know, Kate, the chance of fitting a square peg into a round hole is limited merely by how you look at it. Come on, let me show you. Consider, for instance, our new Malibu and your juice. Round cup holder, square juice. Now that's attention to detail. Let's ask if we can go for a drive. Juice.
The new Malibu from Chevrolet.
In 1972, the Soviet Union was one of the world's most powerful nations. Sport was propaganda.
Every time our government wants us to prove that communism was better system than capitalism. We were programmed to prove this to the world. We were perceived to be unstoppable. It was up to us to make sure that the public knew that communism is far superior to capitalism.
Hello, Canada. I'm Foster Hewitt. I'll be doing the play-by-play of tonight's key game. With the Soviets moving into a commanding lead in this series, having won 3, tied 1, and lost 1, this sixth game is a must for Canada if they're to win or tie the 8-game series. Ryan Conacher is again beside me and will do the color commentary. Ryan, it's do or die tonight.
The Soviets are at their physical peak, while Team Canada is still 2 steps from it. And Foster, there's no way that Team Canada isn't getting support like they've never had before, even across Canada. 3,000 Canadian people over here are making more noise than 20,000 back home.
Team Canada's passion became fired by politics, their contempt growing as cold as the coldest war.
Two system wants to show the world their system is the best. We got caught into that. It was not only sports.
It was a war. This was a Cold War. This was our way of living versus their way of living. Our belief system against their belief system.
Their socialism against our freedom.
It wasn't a game anymore. It was society against society.
All these emotions are running through your body and through your mind.
And so in war, you do whatever you have to do.
Because it wasn't fun. It was not fun.
Canadians come over the line. Phil Esposito shot. And Jack stopped it, but it bounced wide in the corner of the net. Foster, I just have to mention, little push and shoving goes on there. Phil Esposito tried and grabbed that one. It's nearly a mix-up. Anderson waiting for a
Needing to win to keep their chances alive, the Canadians have trouble controlling emotions.
play for Tripping, and Berglund is going to get the call. They're really upset, and Berglund is really red hot, as you noticed. And it's Kaslov given a show by Phil Esposito. Phil Esposito, then cross-check. Kaslov.
In Game 6, Team Canada will receive 31 minutes in penalties. The Soviets, only 4.
Esposito gets a second penalty for Canada.
Somehow, the Canadians persevere.
Are ragging that puck. The Barnes goes in front of his own net, cut back again. Patterson, here's right back, right front of the net. And Dryden lying on his side.
While Team Canada struggles to keep the game scoreless through the first, Soviet confidence grows.
Но мы думали, и психология каждого из нас уже срабатывала немножко.
Psychologically, each of us thought that if we beat Canadians in Canada, that here, at our own ground, in front of our own audience, we will have no problem.
Каждый из нас где-то стал, мне кажется, немножко не так относиться к себе.
Perhaps we were too relaxed and had no fear like we did in Canada.
The team that in Canada didn't show or violated that fundamental rule of competition that you never underestimate your opponent, it swung about in Moscow. And I think the Soviets probably violated that same rule after the 5th game.
Come on. You two stay up next to We're up next, Red. You and Peter. Stay up with Peter and Red next year. Rod. go, guys. Way to work. Yeah.
Every goal in the game will come in the second period. The Soviets scoring first.
Yakuchev coming in on the defense, and his shot went wide. As he tried to pick the left corner, Yakuchev knocks Tortwaye over. Another drive from the blue line. Another chance for Gilbert. Shot right on. Another one. Score! Canada has tied it up. Stable is getting it away. Back to the net. Barrett shoots and score! Tortwaye got it in from Red Barriston to give the Canadian team a 2-1 lead. Two fairly fast goals, and two of the three have been added starters. Now then, Canada coming up. It's good. Oh, Henderson! Let's go in a long drive. And Canada takes the 2-goal lead.
With more than half the game left to play, animosity firmly grips both teams.
In the corner there, the referee gets in between the two. And that
Valery
nearly started
Kharlamov,
something
the Soviets' best player, feels it most. Frustrated by the one-sided officiating, Team Canada lashes out.
Leaning on the boards in a stoppage of play, and Fergie leaned over and said,
Bobby, break this guy's ankle. I mean, this guy is killing us.
He gave me a little dig with his stick and then turned and took off the other way. I kind of hunted him down, and I gave him a whack across the ankle, and at the time, everybody thought it was a pretty good thing to do. And, you know, as the time went on, all of a sudden, it's a real bad thing to do. But it wasn't. It was what went on in the game, and, you know, I was never ashamed of doing it. It was something that was done during the heat of battle, and I did it.
That's the way I played the game. I wouldn't expect that from anybody else, but I couldn't tell that to Rod Gilbert, but I could certainly talk to Bobby Clarke, and he'd do it.
And there's going to be a penalty, I believe, on this one. Here's a mix-up as the Soviet player shoved it in. Now Bergman goes over to the Soviet player.
Bobby Clarke receives a minor and a 10-minute misconduct. Worse, the referees never forget.
Because they don't understand English, it doesn't really mean whatever they're saying. Tempers are flaring at every opportunity. A pass on the left side was offside, and the Canadian bench nearly goes crazy on that side.
One after another, the Canadians parade to the penalty box.
The face-off is forced into the corner. The Canadians keep going. Here's a penalty for slashing, and Dennis Howell is going to get the goal. Dennis Howell off for slashing. Here's a shot
Finally,
deflected.
the defense breaks.
Recovers. They're getting that pattern play right in front of the goal. It tipped right in there. Looks like Yakuchev did the trick. Yakuchev puts the Soviet within one goal. And this game is building up. I hope there are no incidents in this game. There's a very disgusted Phil Esposito, but Esposito walked right into that penalty box. He's got no one to blame but himself. And the very shrill whistles that just ring in this rink, they just about feel like someone's driving a nail into your head. If Canada loses their composure right here, they could blow the whole game.
With 20 minutes to play, Team Canada can barely conceal its rage.
It's just so heartbreaking, John, because our players are up for the game in spite of the tragic loss the other night. They're playing like the champions they are. They're doing their best for their country. And in spite of that, we're getting the short end of the stick. It's just incredibly bad. I can't believe it.
We still had an inherent group of guys who wanted to win as badly as I did and would be prepared to take any amount of crap from anybody, including the Russians, if we could win.
Foster, I can't believe it. Down in that ice, it's just sheer war. It's really
ceaseless, and open.
A CTV News Update. Here is Sandy Ronaldo.
Good evening. Some stories we're following. A separatist premier in Paris. Lucien Bouchard says he's there to strengthen economic ties. A modest Middle East peace offering amid threats of more violence. California under fire, a day-long battle against a raging blaze. And also tonight, Sister Act, a rookie senator arrives on the Hill. These stories and much more later on CTV News.
There's a Canadian spirit.
Canada.
I am the spirit of Canada. I strive. I work. I yearn. I laugh and cry. I seek. I stumble. I win. I almost win. I strive. I am the spirit of Canada.
What a spirit. What a country.
Chevy Blazer with the exclusive driver control system. A little security in an insecure world.
Introducing new Amigo Digital. Including a digital PCS phone with call display and 500 minutes a month, all in one affordable package. Finally, digital PCS comes down to earth.
Apple season is here again. The apples are ripe for picking. And it's time to pick apple baked goods at Tim Hortons. Apple muffins, apple tarts, and apple cookies, all made fresh every day in our stores. Apple baked goods and apple fritters at Tim Hortons. Come in and pick your own today.
I drive a lot, so for my brake work, I trust Canadian Tire. They do almost 500,000 brake jobs a year using only top-quality certified brake parts. Well, John, my mechanic, told me about anti-lock brakes. On slippery roads, never pump the pedal, but apply steady pressure. The ABS won't stop you faster, but will allow you to steer around a problem. Pumping can shut off the ABS. That's important for me to know because I'm a cautious driver. And I think John sensed that too.
Canadian Tire. Everyday low prices made better.
Crisp, clean, and cold beer comes from.
This may well be the most important game in the history of our national pastime.
Game 7. Now nearly a week behind the Iron Curtain, Team Canada longs for home. To them, Moscow is a different world. The Soviets count on that. They'll stop at nothing to win.
As that pressure of the series starts to build, those kinds of differences start to become more and more and more important, more and more distracting, more and more aggravating.
I got phone calls. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning every time I try to sleep. And it only happened the night before a game, and during the day of the game, they would call and wake me up.
Half of our supplies were lost. No explanation. Lost. They stole our steaks. They stole our Cokes.
It was all geared to throw us off our games.
I'm convinced of that. And they could never dispel it, and they could never say to me, we never did it.
A pass right in front of Esposito. Scores! Esposito.
Canada takes the early lead.
And there's Canada drawing first blood.
Game 7, more than any other, is rough and vicious. The belligerents derive from the game's closeness.
The play goes right on. Yakuchev coming down fast. Here's a score!
In the 11th minute, Alexander Yakushev ties the score.
That goal has perked up the Soviet attack. Here the Soviets coming in from back of the net, and he's bounced down. Mikulov knocked over. Hart covers his man. Going to be a penalty on the play.
The referees call things closely. Passion is running deep.
12:39 is the time of the penalty. Canada's lost the advantage.
Team Canada again finds itself in penalty trouble. An Esposito minor is killed, but the Soviet power play won't be shut down for long.
Mikulov at center with Petrov. He gets that shot right in that goal right here. He didn't score. Went right in to score, drawing the goalkeeper out, and it was a beautiful goal by Petrov. Practically at center of the blue line. Cleared over on the far side. It's back to Savard. He fakes the shot.
Less than a minute later, we tie it.
Scores! Esposito fires that puck, and it's all tied up again. Ending up in a 2-all.
The Soviets outchanced the Canadians in the first, but the score remains even.
This is a real good, rough, tough hockey game. It's too bad that all Canadians can't be here to see it because it's just unbelievable.
Pressure becomes a factor.
I think they lost a little bit of their will. I think they lost a little bit of their shine. You could see it in their faces. There wasn't as many smiles. The checks were harder. You know, there were more vicious fights for the puck.
A sharp Tony Esposito turns aside 13 Soviet shots.
Great save there by Esposito. Soviets come right back. Long pass to Mikulov. He did it clear. Right in the goal. Oh, that was a great chance there for Mikulov.
With the game clock winding down, emotions rise. Early in the third, the Canadians go in front. But Rod Gilbert's goal is followed quickly by another penalty. The Soviet power play moved deliberately to the attack.
Standing on the side of the crease, knocked the puck into the net, and the Soviet have tied it up. Yakuchev lost it, and a save there on the high lob on a Canadian error. Here's a jamming session, and Gilbert and Klinov seem to be mixing up against the boards there. Gilbert's number 8.
The Canadians are short-handed again.
The offhand advantage again, having scored 2 goals that way already. It's rolled in front, another chance, Petrov.
But this time, the Soviets are unable to score.
Here's a shot. Wide of the net on a deflection. Here's a pass in front. Yakuchev got that one. Another drive, a great shot. And it's a 3-all tie with 6:18 left in the game. Canada must win this one to stay in the hunt.
Knowing the tie will end any hope of winning the series, the Canadians press. To no one's surprise, things get out of hand.
Jam against the board. A real jamming session. Elbows go high. Here's Bergman shoving the referee. Now they're
You don't kick with skates. You just don't do that.
Team Canada is outraged. And Soviet captain Boris Mikhailov is sought.
There was no love lost on number 13, I'll tell you that.
Mikhailov and Bergman each get major penalties.
Soviet crowd are doing their usual whistling, and the Canadians were setting up quite a roar.
With 2 minutes left, Paul Henderson ensures there'll be the drama of an 8th game.
To the defense, right in the goal, score! Henderson! Right through the goal for Canada! A beautiful goal by
Henderson calls the goal the best of his career.
And the goal judge was a little slow in putting the light on, but there's no question that puck was right up into the top and the back of the net, and Krejcik really had no chance on that quick little maneuver.
In the closing moments, Team Canada hangs on.
Puck is loose. Here comes the shooting. It's off on the board. Nikolov stared it back on the line. 1 second left. And the game is over. Canada has come through. With a tremendous struggle here.
With the win, the Canadians find momentum. The Soviets find pressure.
September 72 is brought to you by Molson, what beer's all about.
There is a Canadian spirit.
I am the spirit of Canada. I strive. I work. I yearn. I laugh and cry. I seek. I stumble. I win. I almost win. I strive. I am the spirit of Canada.
What a spirit. What a country.
Before Infusium, I couldn't get my fingers through my hair. My hair looked like a fuzzball. And now it looks shiny, it looks healthy. My hair was so damaged, it was like steel wool. And now it's shiny and smooth. Very surprised the first time I used Infusium.
It's the leave-in users believe in. Infusium leave-in treatment contains provitamin B5. After one use, hair looks healthy.
I control my hair now. My hair doesn't control me.
Infusium, it's the leave-in you'll believe in.
Now I am a believer.
Infusium, ask your cosmetician.
The typical cereal is a monotone of flakes. But Quaker Harvest Crunch cereal with raisins and almonds is a whole symphony of tastes. Quaker Harvest Crunch, a symphony of taste.
Hi, I'm Zach Spencer.
And I'm Jill Crop. And all next week on Wake Up, we're giving stuff away.
Along with the news, weather, sports, traffic, all the information you need, we have movie passes to go,
CDs, and a trip for two to the Empress.
All you have to do is wake up with us every day next week at 5:30 a.m.
Hi, I'm Judy Tyabji. On Monday, we'll be joined by people who will explain how changes to BC benefits are hurting the most vulnerable people in our society, the disabled. I hope you join us Monday at 1 o'clock on Check TV.
Mono, 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 mono. Know why so many people prefer mono insulating foam?
No, why?
Well, mono includes gloves.
Mono, mono.
Other stuff doesn't. For energy efficiency, mono foam has the full Power Smart endorsement.
Mono has it. Mono really has it.
Other stuff,
And get this.
Other stuff actually warns you it's flammable. Ooh. Mono foam is non-flammable. Hey, why would you do anything but get the mono? Yeah.
The more solidly a car is built, the less it vibrates. The less it vibrates, the quieter it is. Speed 60 kilometers per hour. Sorry. Conclusion. Very quiet, which means our new Malibu is very solid.
The new Malibu from Chevrolet.
We were deceived by the Soviets. The old equipment, the unprofessional look. But here on the eve of Game 8, we knew their abilities all too well. There were no secrets now, not anymore. Tactics, strategies, none of them matter. In one game, anything can happen.
Все равно я знал, что в трудный момент мы всегда покажем хороший хоккей, мы должны.
We were very confident that we were going to win, because we played at home, with our own ice, with our own fans. If you ask me, there were more Canadians in the audience than Russians.
Площадки.
Most arrived early for the biggest game in hockey history.
Hello, Canada. I'm Crosby Hewitt, and I'll be doing the play-by-play for tonight's 8th and final game of this series. You have been writing the script. It couldn't have produced a more dramatic and exciting final. Tonight we are making hockey history. I wouldn't miss this one for all the tea in China.
At home, more than 15 million Canadians are watching. Schools, offices, factories, closed. All eyes are on Luzhniki.
Emotional moment a player can have when he's standing on the ice surface in a foreign country and they're playing your national anthem. I don't know how your emotion could ever be any greater.
When you put your flag, you know, on your sweater, that's a special feeling.
International hockey is very, very emotional, much more so than NHL hockey, Stanley Cup. I've never been involved in anything like it. It takes you to another level.
The air in the Moscow arena here is tense. Rudolph Bada and Joe Capella are the two referees, and they nearly caused a riot in the discussions prior to the game. The start of the game was very much in doubt there up until noon.
The officials waste no time.
Center, and the Soviet fans, there's a dive. There was a real dive there. There wasn't a triple call, but there'll be a penalty.
3 minutes in, Team Canada is 2 men short.
Here, Foster, it's virtually impossible to cover the whole ice surface.
2 men short. Liepka over on the far side of the shot and stopped and drives.
The Soviet power play continues to hurt us.
Penalties are going to play a decisive factor in this game, and so Team Canada has to stay on the ice.
But the referees have a different idea.
There'll be a penalty there to Canada, and just one penalty after another in this game.
I had to get the referee's attention in some way, in order to let him know that, I mean, this just couldn't continue.
A lot of the officiating was really prejudiced, and you hate to say that, but I believe it was against us.
They were atrocious. They were absolutely atrocious.
You feel like you want to scream that, it's not fair.
They end up with a referee from a communist country, and you knew you're in the disadvantage.
Fergie and I were beside ourselves at the time, and we did get his attention. I mean, we should have both been thrown out of the game for the way we behaved.
This kind of officiating is going to cause more than one incident before this game is over. Not a 10-minute misconduct, as well as
Jean-Paul Durizet is given a minor, a misconduct, a game misconduct. As the fans shout, "Let's go home," Team Canada's bench is in an uproar.
Somebody else threw a chair. There has to be at least 100 policemen guarding Team Canada's bench from any spectator that might want to venture in that direction.
The Canadians warned Soviet officials of an incident just like this one. They even threatened not playing over the choice of referees. Now they know why.
There has been a lot of discussion in the last day as to whether there would be an incident in this last game. Unfortunately, I believe for Team Canada, the sparks have flown early, and there's still a lot of hockey to be played, and if they can collect themselves, I don't believe this one goal is going to beat them tonight.
Life and death here tonight, the way they're playing. Cleared on the right side to Ellis, right in front of the net for Phil Esposito, as Canada at full strength for a change.
Shortly after the Parise incident, Canada scores.
Having a chance, here's a shot, right on, quick check, he made it in! Phil Esposito, not in the rebound, and the score is tied.
But the celebration doesn't last long.
Going to be a penalty call against Canada. And this first period has been a story of penalty after penalty. Mikulov stole the puck, goes in on the wing, and Mikulov was knocked over. There's going to be another Canadian penalty. Interference.
The Canadians march one after another to the penalty box.
The Soviet players fall down and look back over the shoulder to the referee, that they can almost entice the referee into giving an interference or a hooking or a holding penalty.
The Soviet power play makes no mistake.
Back to Lutsenko. Here's another shot. He scored! Long shot from the blue line. And I don't think anyone touched that puck. Another try by Park. They're closing in. Rattel to Park. Right in. He scored! From Rattel. And Canada tied it up. Park.
With Brad Park's goal, the excitement builds.
Mahavlik right in, and the shot was grabbed by Tretiak. Mikhailov shoots, and Dryden came up with a dazzling save, and Canada has the Soviet on the run here right in front of the net, a scramble. Yakushev comes away on the right wing, closes in with his shot wide. It bounced in front of the net. Shattersky scores!
An errant shot in most places becomes a goal in Moscow.
One up there. Hill backing up, takes the shot, and right front of the door. Bill White deflected it in.
Bill White's goal gives Team Canada momentum.
Canada carrying the play at this stage. Here's a roller right in front of the net. Got it, score! Yakushev was right in front of the net. And there's that deadly shot again from close hands to give the Soviet a 4-3 lead.
Another Canadian penalty. Suddenly, all of the momentum belongs to the Soviets.
There's that tic-tac-toe passing play. Vassiliev is going to take a shot. There'll be another penalty on the play. They do score. Dadrun deflected it into the net. Dadrun deflected that one into the net. Soviets get it again. Klinov over on the far wing. Here's a big shot to Klinov in front of the net. He tipped it and rolled in front of the goal. And drive was away out of the net.
5-3. And we're hanging by a thread.
One period left. We're down 5-3. You would think there would be chaos in that dressing room. You'd think there'd be people throwing their gloves off the walls from frustration and anger. That wasn't happening. That didn't happen.
There's no overtime, there's no ninth game, there's no anything else. And so, you know, there's almost a kind of mellow sense is, well, let's see what can happen. Let's do what we can do, and who knows.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Molson Breweries. What beer's all about.
Crisp, clean, and cold beer comes from.
Yeah, freedom! That's what it's all about. It's like, let's go.
Introducing Chevy Venture. Sure, things have changed.
Are we there yet?
But you still need a little freedom. The all-new Chevy Venture is here.
Let's go!
1 in 3 Canadian jobs depends on exports. Through Team Canada, Canadians are working together to take on the world.
With the growth that we are experiencing in tourism, particularly as it relates to the international market, we are seeing a surge in employment, and that's very important.
Canada is one of the 10 most popular travel destinations. More than 500,000 Canadians make sure of it. They help tourism inject $42 billion into our economy.
We're very optimistic. We believe that Canada will continue to be a very appealing destination. It is a very hot destination today.
Be part of our team. For more information on Canada's export opportunities, contact the Canada Business Service Center in your province.
The heroes.
Smart as Einstein, legs to die for, had her own stun grenades.
The boss.
Now that's manly.
The bad guys.
People will remember who I am.
Program, data, information. That's what crime is going to be.
And stuff blowing up.
The average computer owner uses 30 pieces of software during a lifetime, which means to use all the software available for the Macintosh, you'd need 465 lifetimes. Where will their education take them? To their school? A museum? On the internet? The eMate 300. Is it any wonder it has a handle?
You've never seen anything like it, and it's headed for Canadian Tire.
More selection, more parts for more makes and models of cars and light trucks, more quality brand names like Certified Brakes, Monroe Shocks, and TRW suspension parts. So now, you'll get the right parts when you need them at guaranteed low prices. Canadian Tire, Canada's auto parts store, made better.
This is CTV.
The Long Walk. The Canadians come out flying. The play is all in the Soviet end.
Peter Mahovlich coming down the right wing. Keeps on going into the corner. Is bumped back to the net, centered in front. Here's the Esposito.
5-4. Again, it's Phil Esposito.
Scored for Canada from Peter Mahovlich. If you don't succeed the first time, try again. Here's the fight in front of the
Shortly after the Esposito goal, the referees lose control of the game.
struggling with the Soviet player, Viktorkov. Now then, Gilbert swings at him. Viktorkov goes back at him. And the two of them go down again. This is the first fight in the game. And you can feel the tension almost everywhere.
With 10 minutes left, the goaltenders change ends for the last time. The Canadians remain determined.
Is trying to come out on the left side. A long pass to Phil Esposito going in. He shoots. Oh, right in front of the net. Esposito banged that. Here's another shot by Cournoyer. It's goal! Tied it up. The Canadian team grabbing each other there as the loose puck went around the net.
But the goal light doesn't fire. Alan Eagleson knows the Soviets well. A conspiracy is not beyond.
Well, I was convinced in my mind that we were going to get cheated out of that goal. I jump out of my seat. Jump literally out of the seat, and there's a big rail. I do a hurdle over that, and then I'm right into the backs of these 8 cops. 20 feet from an exit, and I know if I hit that exit door, I'm going to be disappearing for a few hours or a few days.
But Team Canada won't stand for it. They act quickly.
My favorite hockey player for all time is Pete Mahovlich. Peter just took one hand on it, he's so tall, just did a springboard right over, and now he's right in the melee with me.
Why I did that here again, I don't know. I mean, why should I be afraid of the Russian guards taking Alan Eagleson away? I don't know.
You're coming back to the bench with us. We'll get you safe over there.
We were all together. And they weren't going to take Alan away. That's the way it was.
Now we see a fight break. Now there's a big board. Next up on the far side, the Canadian team are mixing it up with the spectators, and I believe Alan Eagleson is in on it over there as far as we can tell. And the Canadian team are all over there. When that rumpus started, or whatever it was, nobody knows. But Canada tied that score at 12:56.
I don't think the Russians have any idea what the hell we were doing. I don't think we knew what we were doing. They had guns, we had hockey sticks. I mean, this was really the David and Goliath here.
And it appeared to be Cournoyer who got the goal. Apparently, the police were trying to throw Eagleson out.
I think he did what we all wished we had the nerve to do and the courage to do. He did it, and I think we were proud of him for it. he was a huge factor in keeping that team together and in that team winning.
6 hops grab. That's what I want you to referee's bench. It's time to put the line on. Let's go. Let's win this hockey game.
Esposito huddles the team. Word has come the Soviets are claiming victory on a tie. They've scored one more goal than Canada. With less than 2 minutes to play, a hush falls over Luzhniki.
Paul Anderson's sitting beside me, and he's shouting like a madman. And I'm looking at him, you know, just amazing. It was just a reaction, and he's yelling at my brother to get off the ice.
I wasn't yelling at him to come off because I just had a sense that I needed to get out there. And when I jumped over the boards, I saw Cornway head at the far point, and I yelled at Cornway.
defenseman fell over, Liapkin, and the Cornwallis has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild stab, Wart fell. Here's another shot. Right by the score. Henderson has scored for Canada. Henderson right in front of the net. And the fans of the team are going wild. An absolute mob scene over Paul Henderson, as there should be, but you can't underrate the effort again of Phil Esposito.
At some point in the middle of the pile, I remember as if slapping myself in the face and saying, oh my God, there's still 34 seconds to go. I've got to get a hold of myself.
Lukin with 12 seconds. Comes back. 8 seconds. And better. A long shot by Gusev. Right and played it back to the goal. The game is over. And Canada have won the series. They defeated the Soviets 6-5 in a thrilling, hard-fought tussle here. And to show the quality of the Canadian team, they were able to win 3 out of 4 on Moscow ice.
The building and the Soviets are stunned.
Our coaches, our players were all silent. No one spoke, not even one word. We were extremely upset over the loss.
There were smiles in Team Canada's dressing room, but mainly quiet reflection. They'd just become a team, and now, in an instant, it was over.
I've never been prouder of a bunch of guys in my life than those guys, because I would take that team that we had You can take all the superstars you want, but that team, God, had a lot of heart.
We were able to restore confidence in ourselves as hockey players, but in our country as being able to still be the greatest hockey power in the world.
The win was unlike any other.
It was done. It was over. We accomplished what we started, and it will never be the same again.
September 72 is brought to you by Hudson's Bay Company since 1670.
There is a Canadian spirit.
Canada.
I am the spirit of Canada. I strive. I work. I yearn. I laugh and cry. I seek. I stumble. I win. I almost win. I strive. I am the spirit of Canada.
What a spirit. What a country.
What does it take to make tap water taste like this? Very little. The ingenious Brita water filter virtually eliminates lead and chlorine. Brita, water the way nature intended.
The owners of Big O Tires from Vancouver Island and Powell River demonstrate how important tires are when braking. The Big O Tires drives home the best value on the TA Radial tires from BF Goodrich. Choose the Euro Radial TA or the Radial TA New Generation for world-class performance with aggressive good looks. The Radial TA tire line from BF Goodrich, TA Performance Tires. Time for change? Big O Tires, a reputation you can ride on, and they'll stand in front of you.
People buy my stuff because they think I know what I'm talking about. Who's going to buy my lingerie when the message is, wear this and your husband will sleep with a 20-year-old bimbo? Husbands will buy it.
Veronica's Closet, Thursday nights at 9:30.
The circumference of the world is almost 40,000 kilometers. Think about it. Our new Malibu can go around the world 4 times before a tuna. Hey, a cowboy. Wow. Hey, there's that cowboy.
160,000 kilometers before its first scheduled tune-up. The new Malibu from Chevrolet.
Team Canada arrived home to a hero's welcome. Canadians rejoicing from coast to coast. These were 27 remarkable days, never to be seen again. That wasn't how it started. It all began as fun. But things changed. In one incredible month, we renewed our love for more than just a game.
I don't think we were ever more Canadian than we were in September 28, 1972.
We were Canada. We were Canada. There's no question about it.
For the first time, the whole country was behind one team. That was the first time ever.
It's just a special, special, special point in time.
Maybe it is a part of Canadian history that will never go away.
There's something about September. September of '72. Its magic will always live.
72 series set an example that Canadian hockey players live by. That they know down there inside of them somewhere that there's something a little extra they can give. I think it came out in that series, and I think it's still with all Canadian hockey players since.
And Canada is still able to produce the #1 best player. And, you know, it's gone from Howe and Richard to Hull and Esposito and Orr through to Gretzky and Lemieux and now Lindros. That's one thing that Canada has always done against the whole world. And hopefully we can continue to do it.
Tomorrow night, on an all-new episode of Time Cop, Logan travels back to 1977 with a detective to solve a case involving a large amount of missing gems. But things take a turn for the worst when greed comes a-calling. Then at 9 on Sybil, Zoe's performance at her first piano recital's in jeopardy after she's upset by Sybil. New TV on Check. It's here tomorrow night beginning at 8. CTV News with Lloyd Robertson is next.
When I think of all this stuff, I'll tell you what. Victories and peace and all, my Lord. Nah, that's something that is over with, and I'm glad it's over.